All right. So this PowerPoint is taking a look at identifying and understanding the 4 major sleep disorders. First one being insomnia. Insomnia is defined as recurring problems in falling or staying asleep. This is a very common sleep disorder that affects about 10 to 15% of adults. I think a lot of us have experienced problems related to the inability to fall asleep, or once we've fallen asleep, when we wake up, the ability to fall back asleep again. Our book talks about some natural alternatives for people who are struggling with insomnia. Number 1, relaxing before bedtime. There's something to be said about transitioning into a nighttime routine. We know we talked about exercising or performances right before bed and how it releases adrenaline into our bloodstream, and that will affect our ability to fall asleep at night. Avoiding caffeine. Caffeine, for some people, doesn't seem to make much of an impact, but for some it does. So trying to decrease any kind of stimulant that you're taking into your body. Sleeping on a regular schedule. There's something to be said about our circadian rhythms and our internal biological clock having a regular pattern and routine. If your sleep schedule is all over the place, your circadian rhythm struggles with signaling to your body that it is time to sleep. We know that exercising releases endorphins, which are good and healthy and allow for you to get better sleep at night. One of the things that I struggle with sometimes when I wake up is stressing out that, oh my gosh, now I only have 4 more hours to sleep. Now I only have 3 more hours till my alarm goes off, and it just makes it worse. So trying to maybe get out of bed and do something, read, watch television that puts you in a sleepy state. Hiding the clock. When you're constantly checking to see how much time you have left before you need to wake up, it oftentimes keeps you up. Or sometimes people just need to adjust the amount of sleep they need and aim for less. The second sleep disorder is called narcolepsy. This is a sleep disorder that's characterized by uncontrollable sleep attacks. The sufferer may lapse directly into REM sleep, often at inopportune times. Because the person lapses directly into REM sleep, they are pretty easily awakened. Episodes of these sleep attacks typically last less than 5 minutes. Some interesting statistics on the studies done with people suffering from narcolepsy involving March versus September babies is that mothers who were pregnant during their second trimester, the critical period for exposure, had increased exposure to the cold and flu virus during that cold and flu season. So they found that March babies had a higher susceptibility to narcolepsy. Now that doesn't mean that if your mother was in her second trimester during the cold and flu season that you were going to for sure be narcoleptic. It just is interesting how there is a correlation between those who suffer from narcolepsy and their mothers being exposed to cold and flu viruses during the second trimester. Hypocretin is a hormone that is secreted in excess with people who have narcolepsy, and it is a hormone that signals that you should fall asleep. So obviously that might be the cause of some of the sleepy states that narcoleptics tend to be in. So listed below are just some of the inopportune times that sometimes trigger the sleep attacks. There's a subtype of narcolepsy called cataplexy, and when they get highly aroused, either by laughing loudly or shouting angrily, sometimes even being scared, they can lapse into a sleep attack. There are some good YouTube video links here. One is of a narcoleptic poodle named Skeeter, and one is a video of a man who has very debilitating narcolepsy. To check them out. Sleep apnea is a sleep disorder characterized by temporary cessations of breathing during sleep. This disorder affects 1 in approximately 20 people. And listed in the picture that you see here on the bottom left-hand side of your screen is a man wearing a device that actually forces air into the passageways of the person who's suffering. What happens is they truly stop breathing. So they might be snoring for a while, and then you'll hear this period of silence. During that silence, there is no oxygen entering the person's system. Your body can only be deprived of oxygen for so long, and you gasp for air. It can be rather dramatic if you witness someone with sleep apnea. This device constantly forces air into the passageways, and so they don't ever stop breathing. The cycle can repeat more than 400 times a night. The very difficult thing about sleep apnea is because of those episodes where they gasp for breath, they never actually get into stage 3 and 4 sleep. So someone with sleep apnea can sleep 8 to 10 hours but wake up feeling very fatigued because they never got the deep, slow wave sleep that's necessary for a person to feel refreshed. Most people that have sleep apnea are unaware that they suffer. It's usually a loved one that is awakened by the snoring and the gasping for air that inform them that they need to get it checked out. So the machine that it was on the previous slide is called a CPAP, continuous positive airway pressure. It's nice because people with sleep apnea don't have to take medication. They can just every night when they're sleeping or when they're napping put on this device, and it offers complete relief of the apnea. Both of my mom and my dad have sleep apnea, and they truly could be spokes representatives for the device because they know what an amazing difference it is between not sleeping with their CPAP and feeling very, very fatigued the next morning, or getting a good night's sleep and feeling refreshed. So this is another YouTube video that if you get a chance you should watch that shows you a little bit about how CPAPs work, and also how sleep apnea, if undiagnosed, can lead to other health-related problems. Night terrors are sleep disorders characterized by high arousal and an appearance of being terrified. Unlike nightmares, which occur during REM sleep, night terrors happen in our deep sleep, stage 4, typically within the first 2 or 3 hours of falling asleep, and they are seldom remembered because they are in such a deep state of sleep when it happens. Some facts about night terrors. They do typically occur in children. It's something they tend to grow out of by the time adolescence hits. Children who sleep talk and sleepwalk are more prone to experience night terrors, and they do find that this condition tends to run in families. And that's it.